So, what is up? It's your boy David, and welcome to another episode of Davecast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and notification button. And so, I'm looking for another video again that we can review, and soon I bumped into this video on YouTube and found out some kind of Venom symbiote is recorded yesterday, and by the looks of this thing, we will review if it's a real symbiote or not. So before that, we must know what a symbiote is. Symbiotes. We are all familiar with symbiotes, especially Venom. If you haven't watched the movie yet, the Venom. So there is a lot of list of Venom symbiotes, different kinds of symbiotes. And if you haven't watched the movie Venom, yeah, you should watch Venom. Okay. It's a clash between Venom and Riot. So there's a long list of symbiotes like Riot, Scream, Anti-Venom, Lasher, Page, and a lot more. So what is a symbiote? Okay. To be able to determine if the creature that is found out yesterday is real symbiote or not. A symbiote, originally known as Clintars, are a fictional race of extraterrestrial parasites which appear in the Marvel Comics universe. The symbiotes envelope their hosts like costumes, creating a parasitic bond through which the host's mind can be influenced. Symbiotes are fully aware and sentient creatures. Okay, based on this meaning of symbiotes, it is already proclaimed as a fictional race. It's a comical fiction created to entertain us people on heroes and different characters on comics. So it means this movie, the symbiotes here, are a work of fiction. And also, just another information, the symbiote god is Null. Okay, I think he created this symbiotes, overall symbiotes. He's the god of these symbiotes. Okay. So that is the meaning of symbiotes. It's a fictional race of extraterrestrial parasite like aliens in the Marvel's comics universe. So there is no way that these creatures will exist in our universe because it's a work of fiction. Okay? And with that, let's watch the video of the symbiote. For now, so-called symbiote being recorded here. Well, let's go to start. Ooh.
So one thing like that.
If you will, if you will look in the first look, it looks like a symbiote because of the color. Check, it's the color, the appearance. Because the symbiote that we know is slimy like that. See?
I like Freddy.
See, if you look the physical appearance of this creature, it would likely be recognized as a symbiote because if you're an avid fan of Marvel Cinematic Universe, you would likely recognize this one as a symbiote. Okay, but is this a symbiote? That is the question. Is that really a symbiote? Like Venom? If you would imagine a world with symbiotes, it would be chaotic. Okay? I want to put your comments down below what you think if symbiotes do exist. So we already watched a Venom movie. Also Spider-Man is being bonded with symbiotes. So is that a symbiote? So I made a research about that creature. So it's so-called Bootlace worm. It's a Bootlace worm loaded with powerful nerve toxin. The bootlace worm usually measures 1 to 5 meters in length, but the longest specimens stretch out roughly 50 meters. So, this bootlace worm is also recognized as one of the most longest creatures in the planet. I don't know why, but I see 53 meters long, and it can grow into 53 meters long. Could you imagine that? And also, a slimy worm that can stretch to 50 meters long may seem nightmarish enough, but experiments reveal that the bootlace worm has another formidable feature, a potent nerve toxin, so it's also poisonous. The invertebrate Linnaeus longissimus, which lives on the seafloor, is thought to be the longest animal on Earth. Squirts mucus when disturbed, and so on. So these are the features of a bootlace worm. Okay, if you observe right here, the bootlace worm is not fully black in color, other than like this one. So the things that we're the creature that we're confusing to as a symbiote is a bootlace worm. It happens to be that the bootlace worms just formed like this, and when the people saw this one, they thought it was a symbiote, but it's not, because the wide definition of a symbiote is a fictional race. So there is no way that these creatures will ever exist in our universe, our planet. So this is a work of fiction. So the things that we're confusing into symbiote is just a worm. Okay, let's put it into context. For example, how did Spider-Man get his powers? That's one of the questions. So it means if you're beaten by a spider, because Spider-Man got his powers with the bite of a spider. So if you're luckily beaten by a spider, you would also have a Spider-Man powers, which is not. You will be mostly poisoned after you're beaten by a spider, if it's a venomous one, and it will not work mostly in reality. All of these fan fiction, I mean comical fictions, will not work in reality. It will make your life miserable. So what do we need in this kind of analyzation with these creatures? So what we need is a suspension of disbelief. We have to understand that this work of art, comics, comical fictions are made for entertainment. That no way entails that it can exist on reality. For example, this one, if you are manifested by this kind of creature or the bootlace worm, would you be like Venom? Would you turn into Venom? Of course not. If you're beaten by a spider, would you be Spider-Man? Because if all of the people on the planet would be beaten by spider and turn into Spider-Man, that is a known fact. It will be a known fact. But it's probably not. Most of the people who's beaten by spider are in the hospital right now. And also, if you manifested this creature, this creature manifested you, it would likely you will be poisoned because this creature, the bootlace worm, has toxins in it. So I think um this bootlace worm has more toxin, produces more toxin than other bootlace worm like this. That's why this bootlace worm is all black. It's darker than this bootlace worm. So we need to have a suspension of disbelief in observing some creatures, things. So why am I saying this? It's to avoid mistaking any creature or things that we saw, similar to the shows that we watch, to be similar, like this. We saw a creature like this. Is it Venom? If you're bitten by a spider, you'll be Spider-Man. So we must be careful on comparing this to reality. Okay. So next is, would there be a Venom 2? For me, it will take a long time, or because we're in quarantine, but I ensure that Marvel would think of making Venom 2. Especially in the spoiler here, Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy, Carnage, Public Carnage, one of the famous symbiotes ever fought Spider-Man, Venom and Carnage. So for me, we will just wait before the release of the Venom 2 or any teaser trailers that we would have. So I hope you learned something from our discussions for today, and thank you everyone for the support. I really much appreciate it. So that's it. See you in the next video, guys.